Boulder legal expert warned yesterday there was nothing inappropriate about John and Patsy Ramsey leaving the state to attend the young beauty queen's funeral in Atlanta. And now today's half.
Dad, the great thing about narcotics is that there are no mysteries. I mean, the only question is what day and what time the dope shipment arrives. Hey, Karina! Is this steak almost finished? Because I gotta go in like an hour.
I thought what you really liked about narcotics was running around in those silly disguises. First time I met him, I actually thought he was a hippie burglar.
He'd be a great burglar.
Oh, thanks a lot, Dad. Uh-oh.
And Shane Foley's in at the control.
Here you go. Thanks. Go. Karina, medium rare.
Actually, I think he would have made a very bad burglar. Always dropping things.
Commander Elder, please. Steve Thomas. Hi. No. Yeah, I'll put it on right now. All right. Dad, give me the remote. What channel is CNN on? 17. 17.
For our grief to resolve itself, we now have to find out why this happened.
There's been some question as to why you hired a defense attorney.
It's not just an attorney. We're also assembling an investigative team. I want the best minds this country has available to help us resolve
What is he talking
this.
about? We're the investigative team. What is he talking about?
Outsiders outside of your family or circle of friends?
Yes. Our family is a loving family. It's a gentle family. We have lost one child. We know how precious their lives are.
Police interviewed you.
All day on the day of her death. For hours, they asked us questions. There is a killer on the loose.
Absolutely.
If I were a resident of Boulder, I would tell my friends to keep your babies close to you.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Oh, turn it back on. I want to hear this.
What's there to hear, Dad? I mean, they're too deep in grief to talk to us, but they could talk on TV? I mean, they could go on TV and talk and talk and talk.
I want to hear this, Steve.
Fine.
At least John Bonet will never have to know cancer or the death of a child.
Yes.
There's a killer on the loose. Keep your children close. They make me sick.
Oh, I don't know. It's as dumb as hell, but they've just lost a child. Now, maybe they're not thinking smart.
You believe them?
Well, I don't know if I believe them or not, but I don't disbelieve them either.
Excuse me, were you in John Bonet's class? Excuse me, did you go to the Ramsey house to play? Excuse me, could you help us just by answering a couple questions?
Sweetheart, what's your name? Tell us your name.
Did you ever play with John Bonet?
Let the kids into school, folks. Please stay back.
And what's important is you know all of us are here for you. Don't be afraid to come talk to us. That goes for your parents, too. Nobody is too busy for you, okay? Yes, Jillian.
We only live 2 blocks away from John Bonet. What if the bad person comes to our house?
I promise you, he won't. I can't even remember when something like this ever happened before. Nobody can. Tonight, you should all feel safe. Yes.
Yeah, John Bonet's parents could have told her that, too.
That's true, and they would have been right. This is a rare occurrence. Okay, wait just a second. Oh, come on. Now, I think it might be a good idea if we made some drawings about our feelings, okay?
While police try to solve this crime, people in the community wait to hear answers. One woman stopped by the house on her lunch break today to place some dried sage near the family's home.
It brings up a lot of issues, and it brings a lot of hurt, anger, that somebody could take somebody else's life, especially a little girl that had her whole life ahead of them.
Boulder's mayor felt compelled to attend the news briefing.
People in Boulder have no need
to fear that there is someone wandering the streets of Boulder has been portrayed by some people, particularly in talk radio, looking for young children to attack. Boulder is safe. It's always been a safe community. It continues to be a safe community.
She admits, though, she's received no information from police, and she's basing her reassurances on media reports that there was no forced entry to the home and that the killer probably has to know the layout of the house fairly well.
The detectives expressed frustration about conducting an investigation under the spotlight of the media.
Boulder citizens we talked with seem more interested than fearful of the case.
Now, Professor, you teach criminal law at the university. What do you make of the fact that John and Patsy Ramsey have gone and hired separate lawyers?
Oh, I wouldn't make too much of that. It's really not unusual for husband and wife to have their own lawyers. Under the law, they're not treated like a unit. They're separate individuals. It's possible that their interests might even conflict.
But don't you think it makes them appear more suspicious?
Yeah, out there in the world, people imagine that they ought to distrust someone who hires defense counsel. They imagine that criminal lawyers are only for the guilty and the innocent don't have any need for them. But that's a mistake, a foolish mistake.
I'd say she behaved like a mother under terrible stress, but is it innocent stress or guilty stress? I couldn't tell.
Eller's group seems to have made up their minds. Is one Ramsey or the other?
Pray not. Thanks. Hello, Alex.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hawaii agreed with you, I can see by your shirt.
It's my Saturday shirt.
I knew you had a system.
Okay, how do we look? We talking days, weeks, months?
Months. The police just finished 9 days searching the house. They logged over 800 items. It's a long road.
Anything point to anything?
More towards somebody from inside the house rather than an intruder, but until the police do a lot more work, I'd make no assumptions.
Autopsy, what did that give us?
Vaginal bruising, some stains that look like semen, but the test results haven't gotten back yet.
And where are we with the Ramseys?
Hair, blood, handwriting samples, but no interviews, not yet. They're barricaded behind their attorneys.
Yeah, the rich are circling the wagons around themselves.
John Eller's here.
Send him in. John, good to see you.
According to reliable sources, John Bonet was garroted. According to authoritative sources, the ransom demand was for a peculiar amount. According to reputable sources, the paper the note was written on came from inside the Ramsey house. According to unimpeachable sources, the police left a lone detective in the house for 3 hours with 9 suspects. Suspects the detective could not control. This stuff is killing us, and your office is leaking it.
We're not leaking anything.
Like hell.
No, it happens that we talk to the press more often than you do, which has served us pretty well for the last 25 years.
No, that's your way, not ours. Anything that gets out hurts us. If it's accurate, it tips off the killer. If it's derogatory, it ruins us with potential witnesses. These stories make us look like the Keystone Cops.
All right, all right. Turn off your flamethrower. What is it you really want?
The Ramseys have hired Brian Morgan. We're having no luck with them. Tell the Ramseys to talk to us.
I'll do what I can. Anything else?
We can't do that, John. If the victim's parents were dirt poor, any decent public defender would still advise them not to speak to you. All the Ramseys are doing is exercising their constitutional right.
They don't have any rights. Constitutional rights are for people who've been charged. Nobody's charged the Ramseys. Not yet.
If they're not suspects, they're witnesses. And under Colorado law, witnesses have even more rights to refuse to talk to you. Or have you forgotten that, Commander?
Damn it. Which side are you on?
Always a pleasure, John.
Peter, you're asking the Ramseys to cooperate with a man who behaved exactly like a kidnapper. John Eller was ready to hold their child's body until he got his interview.
Brian, cut the crap. We've always been square with each other. You can explain to the Ramseys that Eller's just an old-fashioned cop under enormous pressure in a high-profile case, but he still wants what we all want, to catch John Bonet's killer.
And it might be easier to persuade Patsy if we could all agree to let the interview take place at a neutral site.
Right.